So like when I want to click on things, that part disappears. And when I want it to go away, it won't go away. All right. It is what day? It is October 19th. Okay, cool. I have a clock down here or a calendar.
Right.
I don't know. I haven't been in a public place in a million years. But it's October 19th, 2020. It is team call. We're going to talk about manifestation, and we're going to talk about something called what the heck, I wrote it down because I knew I was going to forget the name of this thing, cognitive dissonance, and what that means for us, and also do some inviting. But I want to start first off, if you have any Success Club points, as I know Lisa does, she's coming on, please pop them in the chat. If you sold a challenge pack for 30-day breakaway, please pop that in the chat and I'll shout everybody out. It's an awesome time for us to launch this program, and everyone's been doing a really neat job of getting people into that. Awesome. So Jackie's got 2, maybe 4 with a few carts out. That's awesome. I sent a cart before. Well, I just did a link, not a cart, before the call. We'll see if that goes through. I can't see anything else. That's it in the chat. But anyway, leave your Success Club points and continue to reinvent the ways that you're going to make this happen, these kinds of launches. And I think it's important for us to use this as an example, use MBF, use 10 rounds where everybody found their unique connection or not with a program. Don't feel like you have to jump on every single launch, but also treat each launch very uniquely. So, for example, I went all in with 10 rounds and really enjoyed that and got a lot of customers on board, but MBF wasn't entirely my thing. And I didn't go through with that launch the same way. But 30-day breakaway is a different story because it's a program that resonates a little bit more with many of us right now. So just finding your connection and remembering you do not have to go all in with every single product and every single program. It's impossible with the speed with which we have them coming out. But when you find the ones that really click for you and you can find unique ways to bridge that gap between promoting, launching, and really owning it, then go for it. So just a gentle reminder. And everyone's doing that really well with 30-day breakaway and all our little previews and things like that. Awesome. Good job, Lisa. And Robin as well. Awesome. Lots of Success Club hitting. Okay, I want to play a clip for you from Mel Robbins, which I had the team call planned, and then I was listening to the last of her podcast episodes. And if you have not, I want to suggest you jump into her Start Here podcasts. They're on Audible. It's an Audible original. You can find it under the podcasts in Audible. I didn't even know this was a thing. They all launched in September, and there's 13 episodes, and they're between 25 and 30 minutes an episode, all different topics, very, very useful, very purposeful. I've been sharing tips from them in my social media, but the last one tonight is on self-love. That's the last episode. And each one is kind of meant, she says it in the intro and in the outro, that it's meant for you to return to these episodes again and again when you kind of need to start here in these areas. There's one on sleep, stress, anxiety, relationships, friendship, everything you could imagine. And this one, as I said, is self-love. And I felt like what she says in the beginning is a really nice way for me to segue into the takeaways I want to share and really teach on from a podcast I listened to by Chalene Johnson today. So if you can, I hope that everyone can hear this. I'm going to get the volume nice and loud. And I don't really know where my microphone is. So if you can hear this, great. If you can't, I'll summarize. But let's listen to Mel Robbins kicking off this podcast.
Let's start here with you. You are an incredible, beautiful, one-of-a-kind person. And inside of you lies the confidence to say the things you want to say, the clarity to know what it is you want to do. And trust me, Mel Robbins, inside of you is courage, the courage to do all you dare to dream. You can and you do deserve to be happy. You and I just have to do one tiny little thing in order for you to have everything you deserve. We've got to shut up the jerk who's living in your head. That's right. You have got the world's biggest jerk taking up space in your brain right now. And even worse, you listen to this jerk more than you listen to anyone else. My job, starting here, is to get you to shut that jerk up, Pack them up and kick them out of your head once and for all.
Okay. And that's where I'm going to stop that. And it really was a fun transition for me to listen to. I was just driving to pick up my prescription again, and popped that on, and it was perfect. So I just finished listening to Shalene's podcast for the second time. So I knew I was ready for tonight's call and all ready to go. And I'm like, oh, I've got one more Mel Robbins and I'll put that on. And I haven't listened to Beyond That. I just kept replaying that little minute segment that she started with, because it really is true. And I know it's kind of trite, and I know that we've all read different books. One of the ones, Girl Stop Apologizing, Girl Wash Your Face, Mastering Your Mean Girl. There are so many books that over the years, the Badass, whatever the heck that title is called, that we've all thrown around and used in our challenge groups and read on our own or listened to, on Audible, that kind of teach us to get out of our own head. And there's a reason we continue to have to listen to those books and listen to these podcasts and get these messages, because we are women. We are high performing women. We are reflective by nature, or we wouldn't be in a business like this one. We are driven to succeed. We are driven to help people. We are raising families. And for all of these reasons, we are constantly in a state of judging ourselves. Whether we mean it or not, we are constantly in a state of judging ourselves, judging yourself today versus you yesterday, judging yourself as a mom versus how your mom parented, judging you as a mom versus how your kids' friends are parenting, judging how you're homeschooling versus how your friends are homeschooling, and all of these things, whether we mean it or not, whether we are the most confident person or not, it's a part of our narrative as women. And it's constantly something we have to remember to kind of pull back from. And I loved what she just said there in the beginning about, you are a confident, beautiful, amazing woman. And you are. And I want you to remember that. And I know there are moments in each day or days or weeks or months where it's so much easier to believe that, and days or weeks or months where it feels impossible to believe that, but it is always true. It's always true whether you're hitting Success Club or not. It's always true whether you yelled at your kids today or not. It's always true whether there's laundry in your dryer 3 days in a row, or it's folded and put away, or it's on your floor if you're Jackie in her closet, okay? Wherever your laundry is, you are a beautiful, confident, successful, capable woman. You are all of those things. And I want us to take tonight as a chance to just remember those wins and those successes so we can manifest these amazing ends to our year. Because I'll tell you straight up, and you guys know this is no secret, this year has been shitty for me. It's been shitty for everyone, and it's to a different degree of shitty for everyone. And every time I think like the shitty is over, a new one comes in, and it's like I'm just like picking up poop all year. Okay. And I think that I know it's a growth period. I know it's a lesson. I know that it for whatever degree it is for me or you or whomever, it's something we have to realize it's going to keep happening. The shit's going to keep hitting the fan. The crap's going to keep falling from the sky. Whatever metaphor you want to use, stuff like that's going to keep happening. But that doesn't mean I'm still not capable and successful. That doesn't mean you're not still capable and successful. And we need to use something called cognitive dissonance to identify those wins and pull them to us, rather continuing to identify the losses. So in Chalene Johnson's podcast, I can't remember if it was released today or it was like her most recent one on the Chalene show. It's all about manifesting an amazing end to the year. She talks about this idea of cognitive dissonance, which is when you are in a state of belief in something, you will automatically find evidence for it. It's why people, regardless of which political party they plan to vote with, will find a reason why that political party is the political party to vote for. It is the reason why when I was a teenager and all I wanted to drive was a Dodge Neon, I thought they were the coolest cars ever. Every single time I was driving down the street in my parents' car, I would see 12 of them and I would squeal like a baby, like, oh, there's the car. Like it was the car of my dreams. And I'm sure I saw just as many of those as I saw Hyundais and I saw Hondas, but that was the car I wanted. So I saw them everywhere as if God was planting them in front of my face. That's cognitive dissonance. If I wake up and I feel like shit, I'm going to see all the reasons why I do. If I wake up and I believe I cannot succeed as a coach right now, I'm not going to succeed as a coach. And I'm going to see all the reasons why I can't. When I see, I don't know, Robin selling a challenge pack, I'm going to be like, there she goes. Look at her go. And I can't do that. But when I wake up and I say to myself, I can be successful today, the best that I can, and I see Robin selling a challenge pack, suddenly I'm like, look at Robin go. I can do that too. Or look at Robin go. She's amazing, right? It has nothing to do with the negative evidence. It's collecting positive evidence. We have our brains wired to do this because we are human beings with brains, with heart, with bones and muscle and blood and all those things. We are wired to seek evidence for what it is that we believe to be true. So it's our duty to start believing and focusing only on believing what we want to be true. So what Shalene says is that, at this point in the year, everybody's looking at their list of goals and everyone's thinking to themselves, I am at my goal. I'm far from my goal. There's no way I can complete my goal. I can't wait to complete my goal. Goals, 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 timelines, plans, diamonds, all the things that we're looking for business-wise or personally. Great. Have those goals, keep them, but they are going to remain goals until we can manifest the energy and the belief of the person in those positions. So if you want to be a diamond or 1-star or 5-star or elite today, tomorrow, or in 2021, we really need to set ourselves up for the belief that we can do that. So before I go any further, I want to give everyone a chance to brainstorm. I'm going to give you about a minute, minute and a half at the most. And I want you to think of something you did today. Don't overthink it. Something you did today as a coach that was amazing. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's selling a challenge pack, if it's helping a customer, if it's answering a question, if it's actually showing up and logging into your group, if it's hosting your first team call, if it's going live on your Instagram, whatever it is, I want to give you a minute, minute and a half, and I want you to think of what that thing is you did today that made you an amazing coach. Think about it. Now, I should have said this. I want you guys to actually put it in the chat, please. I'm going to be demanding for a second. I took a sick day today. I didn't teach my kids. I need to teach right now. So please drop it in the chat. Tell us each what that amazing thing was you did today. Awesome. Jackie set up a call to discuss coaching. Nice, Erica. Ultimate portion fix for the first time. That's amazing. I love that you shared something personal and something coach with Ultimate Portion Fix, sharing it with your community. Steph shared how I managed to meal prep. Awesome. Nina, audit motivational quote to my challengers. Exactly. Lisa signed up a new coach. Megan signed up her first challenger. And Nina signed up her second coach. And Robin reached out to a couple ladies who have been MIA. Awesome. That's what on my last to-do list tonight before I go to bed, Robin, is to do just that, to talk to all my MIA people. I love it. Awesome. I talked to a couple girls in my neighborhood about joining our 30-day breakaway group because they're interested in doing a neighborhood 5K. So I normally kind of stay away from the neighborhood people unless they come to me, but that felt good today. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, without overthinking it, what is something amazing you did as a coach yesterday? Go. As soon as you know it, type it in. I'll type mine. I hosted my meal prep party, even though I felt like garbage. Nina went to a challenger's house and walked her through food prepping. I love that. That's awesome. Checked in with a new girl. Perfect. Should have been groups and cheered on the one active participant. I love that, Erica. That's all it takes is one. Jackie was my one active participant. Look at her now.
It was me.
Dina. Yeah. Dina's in my group now, and Dina posts a podcast every day. It's so funny. Like, I don't have to show up. She just would run the group. Yes, Lisa popped in. I text Lisa. I'm like, I don't know if my link is the right link because nobody is here. And then as soon as I text her, one of the girls actually popped in. I love it. Tried to talk to Robin about her running. Robin's a tough one to talk to about anything. Robin has a jerk in her head, even though she's a lovely human being, and it needs to clear up. Okay, without overthinking, think about something you did 2 days ago that made you an amazing coach. You guys had to see that coming. No one knows your calendar. It could have been a week ago. You don't know the difference. Just say you did your workout. You logged into your group. You posted to your Instagram. Don't overthink it. Those are all amazing things. Especially for me, because I hardly have done any of those things. So those would be real wins in my book. I ran 3 miles and posted stories. A good job, Megan. I completed 10 rounds challenge group. Good job, Erica. I love 10 rounds so much. But I mean, we know why. Went over how I'm struggling to finish 80 day. Awesome. Good job, Steph. I love it. I love it. Now, I don't want you to type this next thing because I don't want it to become evidence, okay? I want you to allow yourself to either unmute and say out loud or just think to yourself, if you'd rather, your limiting beliefs as a coach right now. Whatever it is that's in your head or in your heart as why you aren't as successful as you want to be, as successful as someone else, whatever you deem successful. What are those things that are limiting beliefs to you? What's a roadblock? I'm really struggling to find time in the day. And when I have the time in the day, not feeling well stinks, just being honest with that.
Yeah.
My life transition has been a bigger issue than I thought it would be for, I don't know what I was imagining, like poof, everything goes away. It doesn't. And it's really just difficult. And I'm having a hard time kind of finding my balance. Jackie, what were you going to say?
Same thing. I'm having trouble prioritizing my time because, and when I do have time, I'm too tired to do anything. So,
yeah. And I'm sure Nina could attest to this too. Like teaching like this is just not teaching. It's so much more time and so much more mental exhaustion than any teaching I've done in my whole life. Just these circumstances are very strange.
just sucks.
Okay. Now I want you to scroll through the chat right now. I want you to take the time to read what you typed and what every single person typed. And I'm going to give us 2 quiet minutes to do that. Read them. Don't skim through, don't rush through, but absorb every single one of those words that you and your colleagues typed in. Day 1 of Live 4. Oh, man. Here's what I don't see on that list. I don't see invented my own workout program. I don't see went 17 times platinum diamond. I don't see was interviewed by Josh Coates on his podcast. I don't see Carl Degler came to my house to give me a high five, right? I don't see anything ridiculous. I see normal, human, doable actions. And those are the actions that made each of you feel amazing. That's evidence. That's cognitive dissonance. That's what you need to remember when you wake up in the morning. Try to make it a practice. I'm not sitting here trying to sell Rachel Hollis to you, okay? But I got her Start Today journal and planner. The planner's a different scenario, but I got this after our virtual team retreat that we had in June, because I had been looking at it forever and I just thought, you know what the hell, I'm just going to get it. And every single morning I sit down and it prompts me to write down 5 things I'm grateful for, and then the 10 goals that I'm making happen in my life. You write them in the present tense. And I will tell you that making sure one of my gratitude pieces has to do with coaching has been a huge game changer for me, because not that I ever plan on walking away. I don't plan on walking away, but I have found it so much more difficult to devote time to this and energy to it when so much of my life is demanding of me. And I don't mean that as an excuse, but I just mean it as someone who never thought I'd have that season, right? Like I just never envisioned myself being a person who wouldn't be able to give my all to this, because I've been able to give my all to everything through everything my whole life. And in the past year, I have not been on my A game for this. I just haven't, because at first it was so much unsettled business in my family. Then it was trying to settle business in my family. And now it's a new way of unsettling in my family. And it's required a different person. And it's required me to remember all of the easy, amazing steps that it takes to just be a good coach. And when I set the bar that a good coach is a person who sits down and does a power hour every single day and hits Success Club by the 5th of the month and all those things, it frightened me. And it made me realize that, yeah, that's beautiful. And in a beautiful season, that's possible. But right now, that's not me. I found it easier to retreat, because if I couldn't reach that, what was I doing? And so for the past 2 weeks, I've made myself in one of my 5 gratitude pieces every morning to write down something amazing from coaching the day before. And I tell you, it's recentered me in a different way. My priorities are different right now. My priorities are not necessarily hitting Success Club or rank advancing. My priorities are just creating a culture within my community of challengers that's positive and thriving, so that they're all showing up for each other, so I don't feel so sucked dry on the days when I don't have much left to give, because I just don't have something to give every single day. And it's become a way for me to refocus. And I never envisioned myself being a person who needed to remind myself why I love this and needed to remind myself of those things. So whether your goals are huge and lofty and you know you can achieve them every single month and every single day, or your goals are like, I don't know, I've been doing this for a while and it's kind of difficult now, or I'm just getting started and it's kind of difficult now. Make it a practice today. Don't wait to be in a hole like me. Make it a practice today to remind yourself of one of these simple things every morning when you wake up. You can be amazing by showing up in your challenge group, by scheduling a call with somebody, by starting a new challenger on a new program, by finishing your own program and sharing how freaking hard it was to finish. Those are all amazing things. And when you complete those power hours, bonus points. When you hit Success Club, bonus points. When you sell the challenge packs and sign the coaches, bonus points. But if you remember the little things that make you amazing as a coach, that you're all doing all the time, every single one of you is doing them, it's going to feel so much better when those real successes that the coaching corporate community recognizes, when those land, because you're going to know the backstory. You're going to know all the people that you helped and all the smiles you created and all the lives that you changed behind the scenes. And one of those lives is your own. And don't forget that. Okay. So doing those little baby things really makes that difference. So to go back to Shalene, because I went on my little soapbox for 1 second, just to tie it all together. Have your big goals, but don't forget belief is the only thing that's going to make those goals hit or stick. Because you can hit those goals and they will not remain if you don't believe you're deserving of them and if you don't believe you're an amazing coach. So start each day with a way to remind yourself you're amazing. Those goals will come in time, some for us sooner rather than later. Some of us, those goals are happening and it'll give us a way to keep hold of them. But you have to remember you are amazing at this every single day, because you are. And you just had that proof right there in that chat to remind yourself that. Before you guys exit, I want you to go into your Instagram or your Facebook or your text, and I just want you to send 3 invites, because now you remembered how amazing you are. You remembered how amazing this community is. Not that you forgot it. I did, though, and I forget it sometimes still. And I needed to remind myself this, and I needed to share that with you guys, but that's me being selfish. But before you leave, 3 invites. That's it. Just 3 invites. Then please go sleep. Sleeping is so important. You guys are awesome. Once you've done your assignment, you're free to leave.
You really miss teaching.
I'll be back tomorrow. Not in the building. So my inhaler makes me feel like my heart's racing right now.
Thank you, Pam. Night, girls.
Good night. See ya.
All right, ladies, have a good night.
Good night, Nina.
Good night, guys. Thank you, Pamela, for the push.
Good night, Steph. Hey, girly. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, great. Robin posted a picture. I'm so glad that I made myself look presentable for tonight. Oh yeah, look at me. You look even better. You're like, oh, we're still recording. You're like,
When, oh, I didn't mean to be still recording. When